Hey friendo, Steve here. Welcome back to the channel. So a couple weeks ago, if you remember, I did a video where I looked at rumors from like a year ago, and it was kind of fun to see how those rumors played out. If the reports coming from backstage sources from various outlets were correct, if plans had possibly changed. It's always fun to go back and look at what people are saying in the past and to see how all that stuff played out. So at the end of that video, I was like, hey, I might do this again, but go back even further in time. Let's say 5 years. So that's what we're going to do on this video. We're going to take a look at wrestling rumors from 5 years ago, from July of 2016, and we're going to see how they played out. If they came to fruition, if it was a bunch of nonsense, if plans changed. It's fun to look at this stuff. So we're going to dive into that. Before we get started, do me a favor, hit that like button, hit that subscribe button. Let's try to get WrestleJuice past the 20,160 or whatever we're at right now to the next goal, which whatever that is. Anyways, let's dive into this. We're heading into John Cena's Wikipedia page, apparently. No, we're looking at rumors from July 8th, 2016 is this one right here. First up, John Cena. This is why I was looking at his Wikipedia page, because I actually researched this stuff a little bit. John Cena is apparently cutting back on working house shows and won't be touring full-time like he has in years past. That is totally true. Around this time, July of 2016, he started taking more and more hiatuses. He started leaving a little bit more. He was still around for another couple of years, but it was much more sporadic. He was gone to sort of film stuff. He did that WrestleMania mixed tag program. So he was still kind of in the title scene, but more as a way to get other people over as opposed to getting himself more titles. I think at this point he had already gotten to the point where he was tied with Ric Flair for most titles, and he's still at that point. That's probably never going to change, to be honest with you. Finn Balor's WWE main roster call-up is expected to come anytime, but no later than the end of July, and that's totally true. The WWE draft episode of Raw, I believe, was like July 25th, 26th, something like that. And his debut was huge. He beat Roman Reigns to get the opportunity to face Seth Rollins at SummerSlam later on in August. And he won the Universal Championship, unfortunately, during that match. I was there for that match. During that match, he injured himself. Or he was injured, rather. And he was on the shelf for a while. Let's see here. Neville, also known now as Pac, may make his return to WWE television next week. Furthermore, his first program back could be with Chris Jericho. There was some brief interaction with Chris Jericho when he came back, but pretty soon after his return, he moved over to the 205 division. He moved to the Cruiserweight division, and he did great work there, by the way. Zack Ryder may actually get to work a program with Rusev for the U.S. title, which may include a match at Battleground. That totally happened. Rusev totally won that, and I don't think that was really a protracted feud. So, yeah, I mean, that totally happened. It's expected that Moose will go to TNA as they have given the best contract offer. And he has become Mr. Impact Wrestling. That was 5 years ago, and that dude he bleeds Impact Wrestling at this point. Let's move on to more rumors. July 14th, 2016. Let's take a look at this one. Oh, look at John Cena sitting there with a young Shane McMahon. According to The Observer, Brock Lesnar is going to keep the option of going back to the UFC open instead of committing to WWE again. That's possible. That actually was his plan, but UFC 200 happened, and he had that match with Mark Hunt, which then was like stricken from the record because of like a failed drug test or something like that. I think that's what it was. And he totally ended up committing to WWE. So it wouldn't surprise me if at the time, though, Lesnar wanted that option to go back to UFC open. It says here also in the Wrestling Observer newsletter, it's noted that Shane McMahon has told friends he doesn't know how much longer he'll be on TV in WWE. He did take a little bit of a break, I believe. Let's see, where's his, I was looking at Simon Gotch's Pro Fight DB. Let's take a look at Shane McMahon's Pro Fight DB. Let's see if that's on here. Here's Shane McMahon. Gimmicks. Let's see here. In 2016, yeah, he was there, the WrestleMania, he fought The Undertaker. In November, he was part of Survivor Series. And then he was gone until WrestleMania. So, and he's been there. He's been kind of there and kind of not there. So, yeah, that's kind of, I don't know. He was on TV after that for like the next couple of years. So, let's see here. Here we go. Vince McMahon is very upset at Roman Reigns for failing a drug test, according to The Observer, and is doing so will likely play into the decision-making on the WWE draft. I don't really know if that I mean, Roman Reigns stayed on Raw. He eventually got pushed to the moon. It wouldn't shock me if McMahon was pretty upset with Roman Reigns for failing a drug test. He was kind of punished. They gave him a U.S. title run, which for Roman Reigns was probably a punishment back then. I think there's a couple other rumors in July for that. This one here, while Daniel Bryan is rumored, is not confirmed that he'll be general manager of SmackDown. It could be somebody else. It was totally Daniel Bryan. He did great, and then he got to return to wrestling after that. Let's move on to the 23rd of July, 2016. Cesaro may not have been the only one whose draft day was affected by backstage heat. So apparently he was like complaining that he fell so far in the draft, and there were some rumors that there was some heat on him. Didn't really seem to affect him all that much. There's some talk management didn't like Bray Wyatt responding to Matt Hardy the week before and was slipped to the third round as a result. Could also be why Braun Strowman went to Raw. I doubt that affected Bray Wyatt all that much. He won the WWE title in 2016 or 2017, leading into WrestleMania. So let's see here. Current plans call from the draft to occur every year around this time. Yeah, it sort of got moved to October, though. PW Insider reports Simon Gotch is not at Friday's house show in Delaware and speculates it has something to do with his losing a shoot battle against Sin Cara backstage SmackDown on Tuesday. Whether he's being punished or got hurt isn't confirmed. That's what I was looking at earlier, just to do a little bit of research here. I was looking at Simon Gotch and exactly like, was he punished? Was he still around? And according to this, you guys can take a look right here. Oh, let me get this. Oh, this one over here. This one, please. There we go. So late July, he was still wrestling a lot. As you can see on his Pro Fight DB, he was taking a lot of losses with the Vaudevillains. But that was kind of par for the course ever since they came up to main roster in 2016. Yeah, in 2016. I mean, I don't know how much he's even spoken about sort of the lack of understanding on main roster with what to do with the Vaudevillains. They had some matches here, obviously, against the New Day. They had some Enzo and Big Cass stuff. And I know some people thought maybe the incident where Enzo Amore got concussed in a match with the Vaudevillains might have led to them losing a lot. But I don't know. According to Aiden English, Drama King Matt, that was just an accident. It just happens in the normal course of pro wrestling. I don't really think that had anything to do with anything. But if you take a look here at their Pro Fight DB, they just were on the losing end of like everything they did. I don't know if they ever really had plans to do much with the Vaudevillains once they got called up. It was a great gimmick, though. The presentation was great. Let's see here. As mentioned yesterday, it's believed the WWE title will change hands this Sunday at Battleground. What was the rumor yesterday? It's expected that Seth Rollins will win the WWE Championship at Battleground, pinning Dean Ambrose. That totally didn't happen. Says then he'll feud with Roman Reigns over it going into SummerSlam. That did not happen at all. Again, that might have been part of the plans, but plans change. Let's see here. There's no word on what caused the backstage fight between Cenkar and Simon Gotch, but apparently Cenkar won the fight easy. Not according to Simon Gotch. If you take a look at any of his shoot interviews, he talks about this pretty openly. It's his point of view. It's his side of the story. But stop it. But apparently, in his words, Sin Cara was very sensitive with some things that Simon Gotch said to him, and then chucked a soda can at his face, and then ran at him, and Simon Gotch put him in a headlock. That's Simon Gotch's side of the story for him to tell. I don't know what actually happened there. Let's see here. The Observer notes that Cedric Alexander, Kota Ibushi, Mascara Dorada, that's Grand Metalik, and Akira Tozawa are all believed to have been offered deals by WWE. And Yoshihiro Tajiri may also get one as well. Well, Grand Metalik, Cedric Alexander, and Akira Tozawa all got deals. I don't know who this Kota Ibushi guy is, though. Let's see here. Let's move on to more rumors from then. Let's see here. July 12th, 2016. Apparently, Vince McMahon was souring on Roman Reigns even before his wellness violation. With that, there are others backstage lobbying his push should go to someone else, and Vince is listening. One possible recipient could be AJ Styles, who a source says Vince has been telling people he wishes he'd signed 10 years ago. AJ and Seth Rollins were viewed as frontrunners to headline each brand after the draft. That didn't happen. AJ Styles actually did headline SmackDown for the longest time. He was champion there for a spell, for a long time. And I wouldn't be shocked if Vince had told people he wished he'd signed AJ 10 years ago. He totally should have. But then I'm not sure AJ Styles would have been AJ Styles. As far as Vince McMahon souring on Roman Reigns, so after this, in August, Roman Reigns won the U.S. title from Rusev. According to his Pro Fight DB, he went something like 63-8 from that point till the end of 2016. The only losses he really suffered were there was a couple, like I think there was a Kevin Owens loss, but I don't think that was clean. The Finn Balor one was clean. He lost some like tag matches, some multi-man matches, but by the next year he was main eventing, beating The Undertaker in what was probably supposed to be Undertaker's retirement match. I was there. It looked like he was retiring, and then he didn't. But yeah, Roman Reigns, Vince McMahon didn't. He might have soured on him in the moment during that wellness policy violation thing, but after that, it was to the moon with Roman Reigns. Vince was trying for years after this to get him over. Of course, we all know that. Let's see here. More rumors. Plans still call for a huge Finn Balor push when his call-up comes, but since he's a Triple H guy, there's some worry McMahon could sour on him quickly a la Apollo Crews. That didn't, I mean, so yeah, there was a huge push for Finn Balor. He won the Universal Championship immediately, so the comparisons to Apollo Crews are kind of stupid. But he got injured, so it's kind of impossible to tell whether or not he would have soured on him, but given that Finn Balor literally right now came out and challenged Roman Reigns after Vince tried to use him to carry the NXT brand against AEW, I kind of feel like Vince McMahon is still high on Finn Balor. He's always been high on Finn Balor. And even if he might not see him as a face of the company guy, he's always going to be in a really good position. That's just my opinion on him. I think he's always been treated pretty darn well. Let's see here. While there are no indications that McMahons are looking to sell, the UFC deal did raise the issue. Several sources estimate the value of WWE in the mid $3 billion range. Should Vince change his mind? That's only gone up since then. They could probably easily clear 5 or 6 at this point. So, yeah, there we go. Wait, isn't there like a Lesnar Orton? Okay, we'll finish with this one at the end of July. This is exactly 6 years ago, minus 1 day. Brock Lesnar expected to work the go-home for SummerSlam next week, and that episode of Raw may be his only appearance before facing Randy Orton. Speaking of which, it said plans still call for Brock to win that match, but that's far from set in stone. I kind of feel like that's probably set in stone. He literally opened up Randy Orton at SummerSlam with his elbow. It was disgusting, and then he got into a fight with Chris Jericho backstage because of it. Brock Lesnar did. So, yeah, yeah, he totally won. A couple more here. Word is that of the veterans mentioned in PWI's report from yesterday, Melina is closest to inking a return contract. That didn't happen. Don't know why, but it didn't. Nia Jax legitimately blooded up her local competitor opponent on Raw, but there's reportedly no concern about the incident backstage, as it's been written off as nerves for her big debut. I'll give you all $5 right now if you can tell me who was the local competitor that she faced on Raw. I'm joking. I'm not going to give you any money. If you answered Britt Baker, you'd be absolutely correct. Finally, Cody Rhodes told a fan on Twitter he's working with Ring of Honor for more than just Final Battle, and used Adam Cole's catchphrase to do so, leading to speculation he could get involved with Bullet Club. Did that ever happen? I don't remember if that happened or not. Was Cody part of Bullet Club? Was he part of the Elite? I think he probably was. Anyways, that's going to do it for these rumors from 5 years ago. Always interested to take a time machine back and see what was going on, what the word of the day was. Thanks, everybody, for tuning in. I appreciate it. Check out the video I did a couple weeks ago where we did this the first time around. And maybe next time we'll take a look at like the Observer or PW Torch, something from 10 years ago. We'll go back even further. Eventually, we're just going to be looking at rumors from like the 1930s. How great would that be? Thanks for watching, everybody. We'll talk to you later.